So today we're going to be taking a look at the ISO Hemlock and a little bit more specifically with the 300 blackout rounds. Previously I thought that these rounds didn't do anything, but since I've been receiving so many comments about this thing, it's been kind of hard to ignore, so I figured we'd come in here and test it out. One of the comments even said that these things are doing close to the damage that the Incendiary bullets were doing, so that definitely kind of piqued my interest. We'll be doing a bunch of testing with this thing inside of the red tier zone against a bunch of mega abominations, and we're also going to be taking on some HVTs, and then we're going to go and do the Season 2 Reloaded Dark Aether. With that, welcome on back to the channel, everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, rock the hell out of that like button for me and subscribe to the channel. We're getting so much closer to that 20,000 subscriber goal, and I cannot thank you guys enough. Now, this Hemlock definitely surprised me a bit, and I can't wait to get into everything about this run after a brief word from today's sponsor. If you guys are looking to unlock the new MW3 camos such as Interstellar or Borealis, or possibly even play in some bot lobbies or get all the best schematics in Modern Warfare Zombies, then be sure to check out Mitch Cactus. They're the biggest and most reliable sellers with heaps of brand new offerings for MW3 with completely safe and legitimate services for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. With thousands of great reviews on Trustpilot, you guys should definitely check them out. Be sure to use code REALG at checkout for 5% off your entire order for a limited time only. Now I'm just gonna say that right off the bat I did test it out against a bunch of mega abominations, and I do gotta say it does feel like it is getting rid of them pretty quickly, but it's not doing it as fast as the Incendiary bullets were. It does get rid of them pretty damn quickly, and I do gotta say that is one of the areas where this Hemlock is gonna shine. When I was taking on this HVT Disciple here, I felt like it definitely could have been doing a bit of a better job, but these Disciples are a little bit hit and miss, I do gotta say. Sometimes they go down fairly easy, and then sometimes I swear to god these things are just the most tankiest things on the map. Having Deadwire would have helped me out a little bit, but I feel like there is some guns in the game that can get rid of these guys a little bit faster. I also did bring in a legendary Aether tool and a flawless crystal. Like I usually tell you guys, I want to show you what these things are doing at their maximum potential, especially since I was told that this is one of the best guns in the game right now. I do definitely agree on the part that it is a very good gun. I'm not quite sure if it's one of the best guns in the game right now, but it is very good, don't get me wrong. Like you're gonna see here in the video, not only can we handle anything in the red tier zone, but we're also gonna go and solo the Season 2 Reloaded Elder Dark Aether. This thing definitely holds its own in there as well, so definitely a good gun and viable to use. There really are some guns in this game that I just wouldn't even dare come into tier 3 or go into like the Elder Dark Aether with. There are going to be some HVTs that this thing is going to struggle with inside of the red tier zone. Now it also does depend on which ammo mod that you're using will make each boss a little bit easier. But the Hemlock is a very all-around good weapon to use. It handles red tier zone zombies really well, and almost any of the bosses that you can find just wandering the map, it handles those almost in an instant. Now for me personally, I feel like it does have a few small drawbacks. Like it is an AR, and I'm not the biggest fan of running ARs in zombies just because I feel like they're a bit heavier, they kind of weigh it down a little bit, and it's smarter to run with something else, like either just your fists out or something like the VR11 that gives you a little bit of a speed boost. I did have the Scorcher in this match, so it didn't really matter too much to me. On average, if I was just running around on foot, this would definitely be a factor. Another thing I'm not really the biggest fan of with this AR is it does feel like it's a little bit slower on the aiming. I'm just a bigger fan of weapons that are a little bit snappier like SMGs and pistols. This definitely doesn't hold it back too much. If I'm being completely honest right off the top of my head, if I'm thinking of ARs that are maybe a little bit better than this one, like the FR Advancer, maybe even the Razorback, I don't know, I feel like there's a couple ARs that just might be barely a little step above this one. Like I've said before, not to dog on this weapon, this is still a very good weapon to use here. But now we are here and we are back in the Season 2 Reloaded Dark Aether, and if you guys watched some of my previous videos, you know some of my last runs in here just didn't end up too well. It wasn't because of anything that we were doing wrong, it was because that this Dark Aether unfortunately is still kind of riddled with glitches and bugs. I'm sure some of these can happen inside of the other Dark Aethers, but we were getting incredibly unlucky inside of this one. Now, if you guys don't know, the tap to interact glitch is definitely still a thing, and I know a lot of you guys have that as your setting, and if you're trying to do the Aether extractors, well, those are going to bug out on you. I do believe the same thing with the P&D as well, and the way you guys are going to fix that is just go into your settings, change your prioritize tap to interact to prioritize tap to reload, and that should fix that glitch for you. With the glitch that I was having, just to let you guys know, because I know a lot of you guys like to run around with your fists out just so you could be a little bit faster. Well, if you try to activate either the P&D or one of the Aether extractors without having a weapon in your hand, you're going to end up getting stuck to it, and you're not going to be able to move or do anything until one of the zombies ends up putting you down. Now, if you guys don't have self-reses or a dog bone or anything on you, then you guys are just going to be absolutely screwed. So definitely something you guys are going to want to try to avoid. I really don't get how these things are still in the game. I was having this glitch happen to me back in Season 2 when this Dark Aether first dropped, and it's still happening here in Season 4 4, which is just absolutely crazy. Funny when we get something that's actually extremely OP and like really powerful, man, they'll remove that in like a week. We got something that's actually broken or like a bug or sinkholes in the red tier zone. Still got these big tears in the map where you can see underneath the map in the original OG Dark Aether. What's insane to me is I honestly think at this point in the life cycle, some of these things will never be fixed. Speaking of life cycle though, this is something I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about because I was thinking about this the other day. This is one of the first zombie modes that we have that eventually someday we will never be able to play this again. And that actually makes me really sad, to be honest. I've had some really good fun times on this map. I've actually made some really good memories in this zombie mode, and this is where my channel actually got a little bit of a spark and gained some momentum. I'm definitely always gonna have a little soft spot in my heart for Modern Warfare Zombies, but this is a strictly online only mode, and eventually someday Activision will pull the servers down once there's not enough players playing, and after that point there's just no going back unless they re-release it in like a new game and then they revitalize the player base, turn on new servers or what have you. This game is just going to be left as a memory and something that we once did. I think it would be really cool if at some point down the line they actually implemented some sort of an offline mode into Modern Warfare Zombies, even though I really don't think it's going to happen just because the world is just too massive, all of that data and everything. I don't think it's not possible for like a lot of consoles and stuff to handle that. I really do need that extra help from the server side in order to get like the entire experience on your console and on your hardware. With the advancements in technology and maybe with new consoles and stuff that is coming out, who knows? I mean, my fingers are crossed. But it is crazy to me to think that even all these round-based modes from all the older games and everything, they will all outlive Modern Warfare Zombies, because even after Activision decides to turn off the servers and everything, we can still go back and play those round-based modes. Guaranteed, well after they turn off the servers for Modern Warfare Zombies, I can still throw in my Black Ops disc and be chilling on Kino. Which does also have me a little bit concerned for Black Ops 6, because I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Apparently Black Ops 6 needs a required online internet connection at all times in order to run even the campaign. And that to me is just absolutely insane. And not only everything like that we just talked about with offline concerns, but just hearing those words, you know, always online only, that brings other worries and concerns like, will the game even have a pause feature? And believe me, that is an incredibly huge thing when it comes to round based. Like, you can't imagine just sitting there playing with your buddies and trying to go for like round 100 or whatever. You need to go to the bathroom, and yeah, it's just not a good time. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys are thinking about Modern Warfare Zombies eventually going offline someday. Now don't worry, it probably won't happen anytime soon, but the unfortunate thing is that the inevitable will happen someday. Since we are nearing the end of this run here, I'll switch it back up and talk about this AR just a little bit more before we wrap up the video. The Hemlock was really fun to use. You're solo and you want to run around and kill some mega abominations fairly quickly. It does shine doing that. But I do gotta say, as long as you got yourself either an epic or a legendary Aether tool, then you should be pretty well set up to either go into the red tier zone or into the Elder Dark Aether. Really didn't have any troubles dealing with anything that I put it up to, aside from that one HVT disciple that put up a little bit of a fight. I'm gonna throw that loadout up on the screen right here. Again, I appreciate everybody that took the time to check out the video. It truly does mean the world to me. Rock the hell out of that like button if you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if anybody is new. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.